Alright, so here's part of my everyday carry whenever I go out. I always have a mini pump with me. This is the Lezyne or Lezyne, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I call it Lezyne. It's a mini pump. It's got aluminum top cap and aluminum body here. And it's, so this is 7 inches here, okay? And it's got a flexible tube. One end is Presta, the other end is Schrader, right? So you just, that rests inside here, and either end screws into the bottom of the pump. And it has little O-ring rubber seals on either side. Now, so I paid actually quite a bit for this. I had a coupon and I wanted to pick up a mini pump, and this is the smallest one they had, so I picked it up. Now, at the time, the guy said, look, you can pump your tire up to 120 pounds with this. And I said, 120 pounds, really? He's like, yeah, you can do it, but you're going to have to work at it. And actually, I believe that that is true. I think you can get up to 120 pounds. The problem is, and this is a little older model, but the problem with this model is when you go to take this flexible hose off of the valve stem, it unscrews and you lose some pressure that way. So, but I have got it up to 110 pounds real pressure after the pump's off. Now, current models of this, I think they have a backflow valve to where when you're taking this off, you don't have that problem. So they're probably a little better now, but this is definitely adequate. It has been very durable. When I got it, it comes with a, or at the time I got it, it came with a clip to put it on next to your water bottle, and then it had a little Velcro strap that went around. That never worked for me. It was always getting caught on my leg, or the Velcro would get caught on my cycling pants and rip this thing off. So, but the good news is it's a durability test for this, and this thing went tumbling down the highway 3 times, and it's still just as good as new. So, but I have used this a bunch of times, and it never fails. I know a lot of people, so I've used this, and I've tried the CO2 stuff, and I just want to make a quick point. First of all, so where's the CO2 cartridge? All right. So first of all, here's a CO2 cartridge. Size is pretty comparable. This is maybe 5.5 or 6 inches, maybe closer to 6 inches. This is, like I said, 7 inches. Okay, if I throw this on the scale, let's turn this puppy on and weigh it. Okay, because I want to make a point here about this. This weighs, I want grams, not ounces. This weighs 89 grams. Okay. This has a CO2 cartridge inside of here. And so this, everything with the CO2 cartridge weighs 139 grams. So this is heavier. Once you use the CO2, you're kind of done. So you got to carry another one. That weighs 57 grams, 58 grams. And okay, so here's my point. This is made out of, you know, well, basically it's steel, okay? Most people, when they're done with them, they pitch them, okay? The amount of material in this is approximately the same as the amount of material in this, okay? So I'm not a big environmentalist, but I will say this. People work hard to get this stuff out of the ground. People die to get this stuff out of the ground. And I am opposed to airing up your tire and then throwing this away. Okay, I don't like to do it. There's a better way to do it, right? And so, and by the way, if you have a tire, if you have a flat at the beginning of your ride, and you fill up your tire with CO2, and you ride for, let's say you're in mile 10 of a 100-mile ride, by the end of your ride, you're going to be low on tire pressure again, because CO2 does not stay in your tire. It's dissolves through rubber really good. Okay, so you know, I'm not a big fan of these. Okay, they do work. How many times have you seen somebody, they put the CO2 in, they screw it down, they put this on their tire, and they're like, well, so it's not going, how's the CO2 go? And they take it off, they look at it, and the CO2 goes right out of there. And then they're left with no way to air up their tire, right? Twice I've helped people with this that have done that, okay? So this is much more dependable. It's lighter. This may last me a lifetime, right? It's definitely lasted 4 years. So that's my pitch for this. Now, I said I paid a lot of money for this. I have no allegiance to the Lezyne brand. That was in the store. This fit the bill for what I wanted at the time, so I bought it. You can find basically this exact same pump design with a different brand name on it and pay a lot less. So anyhow, I invite you to go to Amazon and check that out and invest in one of these pumps and put it in your everyday carrier on your bike. And one of the big advantages of this, and the reason I chose this, I actually paid more for this than I had to at the time. I could have gotten other mini pumps, but I have a frame bag now, so I put the mini pump in there, and that's no problem. But for a long time, I rode with this El Cheapo Bell trunk bag hanging off the bottom of my seat, and I had this pump, spare tire, multi-tool, patch kit, some extra chain links, everything kind of that you would need. I decided at some point that I needed to be carrying 2 tubes instead of 1, and there's no way I could stuff 2 tubes in here, so I had to have a different option. But anyhow, that's the advantage of this thing. Even though you can't put it on your water bottle mount, and that works, I think you can make that work with a little. You'd have to change the Velcro attachment system, I think, but I think you could make that work maybe with a rubber attachment system. But if you don't want to do that, which I didn't, you can still cram it in there. It's tight fit, but it definitely fits in there, and it's no problem to go that way. So anyhow, that's a shout out for the old-fashioned pneumatic pump versus this. Now, that being said, sometimes I will put these on my tri-bike because if I'm in a race and I need to change a flat, this is probably 90 seconds or 120 seconds faster than this. So that's a place where you could, I think, make an argument for this. Don't throw these away. Recycle them. People die to get this stuff out of the ground, okay? Treat it with some respect.